has a solution bridging the gap for individuals with disabilities and at-risk veterans. Hello, everybody. My name is Roxanne Govari with Pemberley Realty, along with my partner Santiago Guerin, and we're super excited today to have an amazing guest, Wendy Forkas. And Wendy is the CEO of a nonprofit organization called Adjoin. So without further ado, let's learn about Wendy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, absolutely. So Wendy, tell us about Adjoin. Tell us about what your organization does and how you help our community.
Yeah, so Adjoin has been around for about 43 years now. It started in San Diego area in Escondido, and we provide support to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and autism, as
Mhm.
well as at-risk veterans. We Our mission is to create limitless pathways for people to belong where they live, work, learn, and play. So that's really what we do. We support individuals in being able to live, work, learn, and play and belong in their community.
Mhm.
And we have our Veterans Division, which we only provide those services in the San Diego and Imperial County. And we serve roughly about 650 veterans and their families a year in helping them when they're at risk of becoming homeless or are homeless, find permanent housing. And then through our Catalyst division, which is our division that we provide services for people with disabilities and autism, we serve about 770 individuals a year, and we have offices throughout the state. So we serve as far north as the Stockton, San Joaquin County area, all the way down Central Valley, Orange County, here into San Diego and Imperial as well.
That is amazing, and it's also so much need is out there for what you are doing. How did you come about to form this organization? What brought the inspiration to do this?
Yeah, so it actually is a kind of an interesting story. In the 1990s and the mid 90s, there was a lot of change going on within the disability community. At that time, the majority of individuals who had intellectual and developmental disabilities were housed in developmental centers. And in the mid 90s, families wanted to have options for their sons and daughters who were transitioning out of high school to have employment in the community. And so there was a grant that this group of parents received along with USD. And so through that, they created what at that time was called North County Career Development Program. So it was started by a group of parents in collaboration and partnership with San Diego State and University, and then they hired a director who was also a professor. And so we started out doing employment and then expanded from there. So now we cover like really all facets of life. And then about 12 years ago, we started to provide services to the veterans through a grant. It's the SFVF grant. It is a federal grant. And so we've been providing those services since 2011.
That is amazing. And I don't know if this may be a thing or maybe not, but I have noticed a lot more homeless after COVID.
Yeah.
And is that really the case? Uh, can you speak to that? And can you speak to how your organization helps with resolving that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely during COVID there was an increase in homelessness, and I think a lot here in particular in San Diego, but I'm across honestly across the states, not just here, but there was a lot more visibility of people who are homeless. Here in San Diego, uh, I think we have a constant number of individuals that are at risk or becoming at risk for homelessness. both in our disability community, but also in our veterans. And we are a very veteran-centered, focused community, and a lot of people that have been in the service and are transitioning out of the service. They might be transitioned out of the service here in San Diego, and they may have no family or supports here. So I think there's always going to be the situation in which many of the veterans who are transitioning out of the services are going to need our assistance. But then also just the cost of living, as I'm sure you both are aware, it is it's getting harder and harder for people to be able to sustain housing, and along with other things that are going on in their lives, whether it be medical bills, whether it be job loss. The variety of reasons that we see for people to be struggling with homeless oftentimes are things that you and I wouldn't even think would create homelessness. I always share this story. When I came back to the organization, I was listening to some of our success stories for our veterans housing, and there was a young mother that had two children. They were crossing the border every day because they couldn't afford housing here in California. They had a car accident. It totaled the vehicle, and they became immediately homeless. They did not have any support or any access to be able to get a new place to live. And that's when they were referred to our organization. And, we were able to connect them to resources, get that individual into an apartment close to where her daughters went to school. And of course, as soon as she had no transportation, she lost her job. So then after she was able to get housed and, had some stability, she was then able to go back to work. So that's an example. Like, I just never realized that an auto accident could create homeless for someone. But that's the reality. There's just so many different circumstances that people can face every day. But here in San Diego, there is a uniqueness because we do have a lot of people that are leaving the services and entering into the San Diego area, and oftentimes don't have any support or resources or families. And they've also never had to find an apartment, or maybe never had to find a job, because many of them leave high school and go directly into the services. So we can assess them. We do an intake. If they meet the eligibility, we then help them find housing through our SFVF grant. We can pay for a certain amount of time, and for a certain amount, we can pay their rent to help them be able to then focus on their employment, and if they have medical needs, things like that, so that hopefully by the time they transition out of that program, they are now ready and set and stable and can continue to pay the rent and have stability in their home. In our disability services, we literally assist individuals in finding apartments, as well as finding homes to live in, and then we provide supports in those settings for whatever their needs are. So it could be independent living skills, where we help them with their medication or doctor's appointments, or keeping their house orderly, going to school, to a full 24/7, where we're providing support and assistance for all the things you and I do every day in their home. And that allows them to be able to live in the community as independent as possible.
I'm going to share your website if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
And see what we see there on your website.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can tell me where to go to share some information, that would be great.
Yeah, well, you right there, we're having a Canvas and Cuisine event on June 4th. So if you're looking for something fun to do on June 4th, you can check us out at our event. But if you click on so there's you can register, We're going to have artwork, and we actually, through our Catalyst division, have a new art program called Arte here in the Chula Vista area. So we'll be showcasing some of their artwork, but we'll also have silent auction items and, of course, some amazing food and beverages for people to enjoy. But if you want to go back to our work, if that is a great section. Oh,
It's,
that's a
put
great
it out
section
again.
to see the different services that we provide. Yeah, so if you just click at the top on our work, and you can go to either the overview or the Catalyst or Veterans, and then we also have a Path Now division, which is our newest. But you can kind of see that we have our Catalyst division. And again, we help individuals with disabilities and autism do anything and everything you and I do to help them be as independent as possible. And then for our veterans, we help with permanent housing. And then Path Now is one of our newest divisions. We launched and kind of like a web app, so it functions like an app that individuals with disabilities, their parents, families, care providers can go and create a free account on, put in some basic information and the services and supports that they're looking for, and within a few minutes have the system basically matches them to, we have almost 10,000 profiles for service providers. It matches them to the best match service providers so they can start at the top and review those services to see which one is going to be the best service to meet their needs. And this is, we're in our third year, and we do this just for California currently. And it is just a great way for those individuals who are struggling and not knowing where to turn when they're needing supports for their individuals that have disabilities in California.
This is just amazing.
Yeah, that new program is kind of mind blowing. Having this all those services, just being able to pull that up instead of having to go out looking for them, makes it so much easier. That's a great tool.
Yeah, I will. The vision behind that was I had the opportunity to go do focus groups throughout California a few years ago with all the different individuals who are engaging and receiving services through our state. And the one thing that came up in every single focus group was they wanted an online directory because unfortunately with services that are revolve around our government and state, it takes a long time for them to catch up to where we are today. And so their systems really rely on you reaching out to people in what they call regional centers. And so you could wait days, maybe weeks to get a response. Whereas if they log into Path Now and create a free account, they literally can do that 24/7 and have access to those services within minutes versus waiting for hours, days, weeks, sometimes months. Yeah.
It's amazing when you have a need, and if somebody provides a service like you are providing, how much faster everything will get done, how much easier the experience becomes for the people in need. And especially in today's day and age when homelessness is an epidemic, and it's a crisis for our whole country. And the fact that you're providing this service, oh my God. And I had no idea. That you've been around for 50 years. That is amazing.
Yes, it's that, nonprofits tend to oftentimes be secrets, right? Because we don't have a large budget for marketing, and oftentimes many of them don't have outreach. And some systems, the way it's set up is you're not incentivized to do that because they have their own referral systems and things in place that they want people to utilize. And so for me, now in this age of apps and technology, hopefully we can build a system in which people aren't spending a great deal of time trying to find us, that they can easily find us and find the supports that they're needing. For our veterans division, I know 211 is one of the big resources. So if somebody's out there and they are experiencing, homelessness or at risk of homelessness, 211 would be a great place for them to start. They can also obviously go to our website, adjoin.org, and we have a contact page. We also have our phone number and emails on there so people can reach out. People who are in the disability and autism space, if they're looking for, services or resources, they can always reach out to us through our contact page as well. We have our addresses of all our service locations and emails. But again, Path Now, if creating a free account on Path Now, Adjoin has a profile on there, and they can literally connect with us within the app. But they can also connect with many other services and resources in their area. And through the Path Now app, all the profiles, we have vetted them to ensure that they do what they say they do, and that they truly do serve people with disabilities and autism, so that people can feel good, and they can trust the information that they're accessing there. Yeah,
This is amazing. Now, when you're talking about housing, are you assisting people in filling out applications and uh, and just getting to the housing that's available, or do you have housing of yourself that you put people in? How does that service work?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Roxanne. Through our veterans division, when we do an intake and if individual is eligible, we do all of that. Like, we will help them. We'll find out like where they want to live, how many, what kind of home are they looking for, what area, do they have special needs that they want to have available in the area that they're living. And then we have staff that literally assist in finding those places, and then looking at them and sharing them with the veteran and their family. But they will assist them the entire way. The veteran will still have to be part of that, because all the paperwork and everything, they will have to have their information, and they'll have to provide things, just as you and I do, to get on a lease. But our team is there, and they support them the entire way. They will communicate with landlords and the management, make sure that they understand the program they're in, and, give them information about our services and how we continue to check in with the individuals, even beyond getting them in their home, and that, they can always reach out to us if they have any questions. It actually is very similar in our Catalyst division with people with disabilities. We do the same thing. We will assist people in finding apartments and helping them, go through the whole process. And depending upon the situation with the individual with disability, we may do a little bit more. We may work with their family or their conservator to ensure that they have all the information they need to go through that process. And in the same way as the veterans, we are there to check in. We may actually provide additional support to the individuals with disabilities. So there is a lot of similarity in how we do assist people with housing in both of those areas. I mean, housing is just so critical to people, and to have that stability so that they then can find employment and go out and engage in their community. So we are true partners in helping those individuals get that stable housing, and then supporting them to help them be successful continuing in that living situation.
This is just amazing, simply amazing. And we are so very excited to have found you, because being in our industry, we come across a lot of people that are asking for help, and now you're a resource that we can refer people to. So this is really, really amazing. Thank you for doing the work that you do and for the services that you provide, and just the idea of running an organization like this that is so helpful, especially in this day and age.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really, I feel very fortunate to be able to work at Adjoin, and just work in a field where every day I know what I'm doing is having positive impacts and
Mhm.
helping people be able to live, and engage and be part of their community. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
So, audience, if you are trying to reach out to Wendy, there is Wendy's full information. If you are trying to call her, there is Wendy's phone number, and there is Wendy's email address. And of course, if you are always welcome to go to their website at join.org. And is there any final thoughts that you have to share with the audience, Wendy?
No, I just again want to thank you for allowing me to be here, and for people to know that there's so many ways that all of us can support people in all the things that we do every day. And if you do need help, there is support out there. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Adjoin, even if we can't help you, we will help you find who can.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And audience, if you are here, we really appreciate that you are here and listen to our program. And if you are trying to reach out to me, there is my phone number. If you are trying to reach out to my partner Santiago, there's his phone number. And you can also reach out to us via our website. There's our website, and we also love to be on Instagram. There is our handle, and we would love a follow. Or on Facebook, we would love a follow there as well. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, Santiago, what should I do?
Thumbs up and subscribe for our next videos.
We have amazing, amazing speakers like Wendy who joins us, and amazing organizations that they represent. And this is the place to go to find them. So please subscribe so that you are notified of our programs. And thank you so much, Wendy, for joining us again. And thank you for all the wonderful work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you later.